What's happening, YouTube? Back in the day gamer here. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and today I'm coming at you with another episode of What's Happening YouTube. It's been a while since we did one of these, so we got a lot of good stuff to cover. First and foremost, I was cleaning up the desk here, which usually needs doing, and I don't know how this got buried in the pile. It was in my ideas section, but right here, this is about 2 or 3 years old. But a while ago I posted that I wanted to do a Q&A. So throw some questions at me. And I've got 4 pages here of questions. And I mean, I glanced at this first page, but I haven't actually read through them. So we're going to go through this 2-year-old Q&A and see what YouTube was like back in the day. Okay, this is going to be a long one, so before we get started, we better pour ourselves a drink. And I've been saving this bad boy for a while. Long story short, it's fancy rum. And you know it's fancy because it comes in a tube, right? As I pull it open, when we went up north and went to a cabin, my buddies, they got a full stock bar up there, and I had never heard of this before, and it was there, and I said, let's get into that one. It looks tasty. It came in a different bottle, super fancy looking. I bet that's some good stuff. So it's I don't know, Ronzacapa Centurio. We'll get some B-roll close up here. It is rum from virgin sugarcane, aged at a high altitude in oak barrels. Yes, sir. Now, no one just drinks straight rum, right? That's disgusting. This shit is tasty. And I picked it up at least a month ago. It's been sitting here waiting for me to film this video. I hadn't had any time. Well, it is it's not quite dinner time yet, so we're just gonna do a little sip. We don't want to get too much into this bottle before dinner, right? We'll give that a second to chill with the ice, but like I said, we're gonna get some B-roll. This is good stuff. Okay, so it's had a little time in the ice cubes. It smells like rum, but this shit tastes good. Cheers! What's happening, YouTube? So smooth. Sweet finish, just it's smooth. Ah, yeah. Okay, well, if you didn't notice, I was watching some Bithead and it decided it was time to film this, so I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't distract us, but you know back in the day, a gamer loves him some Bithead. So as I said, this is a good, I would think, 3 years old. Buried in the desk. Like I said, I posted, hey, I'm gonna do a Q&A on one of my videos, throw me some questions, and I got a big response. And you know, my channel is not big, but 3 years ago it was a lot smaller, so I'm surprised at all the questions I got. I have not practiced these. I did read the quick first 3 right here, but I didn't think on it, so this is pretty much, it's like fresh, boom, no rehearsal. The first question just happened to be from Nefarious Wes, and that was top 5 albums of all time. Now, I've always got a problem picking my favorite whatever. I don't have a problem picking my favorite video game. Y'all know what that is. I don't really have a problem picking my favorite movie because The Burbs. Okay, I know it's a stupid comedy, but it's just so damn funny. It actually was 90s, early 90s, but it just fucking love The Burbs, okay? It's like guilty pleasure. Stupid movie, love it. But other than that, like, I can't pick a favorite, you know, food or drink or whatever. But so, to pick top 5 albums is really tough. But to tell you my number 1, Appetite for Destruction. Hands down. Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Best album ever made. Black Sabbath, just the plain Black Sabbath album. That one is damn kick-ass. I listened to Hatebreed. It's one of my favorite heavy bands. Under the Knife. Really, really like that album. Hollywood Rose. It's Axl Rose's band before Guns N' Roses. One album. Awesome. Awesome. Hollywood Rose. I always keep Under the Knife in my truck. And I always keep Hollywood Rose in the Mustang. So now that's only 4, but like I said, can't really pick 5. Number 1, Appetite for Destruction. Good question, Wes. Ed's Retro Geek Out. This is when his channel was small. Now he's huge. He's famous. Ed's Retro Geek Out said, game I regret not being able to have played when I was a kid back in the day because I didn't own or know existed. And he said he never played Zelda. That for shame, Ed. For shame. For me, well, I guess Super Metroid. I mean, I knew it existed. Nobody I knew had it. And I still have only, maybe got halfway through it. There's this point where I get stuck and I got frustrated, and you go back to it a long time later, and you don't remember where the hell you're going, and it's probably something little and stupid, but I had never played it back in the day. And so yeah, okay, for you people that can run it in 3 hours, thanks, Ed. Next one's from the Game Grinder Church. What's up, buddy? What sort of serious shit do you think would be seen if that baby could get up to 88 miles per hour? Oh, in 2018. So it is 3 years old. I think we all know the answer to that. Michael Carmonte, what game were you most disappointed with once you got to play it? He said A Boy and His Blob, and that's a damn good answer because it seems like that game would have a whole lot of potential, but it did suck. Okay, it took me a while to think of it, but then it popped into my head. It's on the Switch. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Hold on. Yeah, it's a good game. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. I'd never played the Game Boy version back in the day, and I don't know, I expected more from this, and I didn't fall in love with it. I played it for a few hours, and then just like, I don't know. I think I might be done with it. It's my answer. But yeah, I've been disappointed by a lot of games. John Aguilera. Oh yeah, buddy. Have I ever tried Pac-Man Versus on the Gamecube? I have not. I have virtually played Gamecube like one time. I can't even tell you what game that would be. What game do I most despise? I don't know. I don't know what game I most despise. Because if I don't like a game, I just don't play it. And despite being here on YouTube and having a whole bunch of games behind me, none of my friends play video games. So it's not like I go over somebody's house and we're playing games and I gotta watch them and I don't like it. Like, no. Like, I play video games right here in this chair by myself. And that's about it. But I do that as much as possible. Well, Gaming University Conference. When is the next Not So Weekly Retro Challenge? Well, obviously, it was going to be a while, but haven't been doing that anymore. But Captain Algebra just resurrected it. He's not calling it, I think he's calling it the monthly Retro Challenge or something like that. But he's on number 3. He did the first 2, and spacing out. First one I didn't have, and the second one was Mario Kart on Super Nintendo, which I don't like. Now, I don't despise it, question before this, but I don't like it. I mean, the 64 version was so much better. The Wii version is so much better than that. So, yeah. Check out Captain Algebra's channel for that, if you're still around. Mainly gaming. Corey, what are my least favorite 5 NES games? Okay, once again, I have a problem picking favorites and least favorites, but on the NES there's so many shitty games that I can't say, and I'm not anti-positivity by any means. I'm pro-positivity, but I'm not walking around all bubbly and happy. But enough negative shit happens in regular life that if I don't like something, it's just whatever. There's way more than 5 really bad NES games on that shelf. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you. But the shitty games are just not in my mind, so I could go through all these and pick them out, but the game sucks, so you don't want me to do that, right? Woodbury and Retro Game Hunter. Woodman, have I ever played Treasure Master? I have. And at this time, I had not. But I procured it in the past year, and that is a game that had a lot of potential, but it wasn't well executed. But there are a lot worse games. So yes, I have played Treasure Master. Second breakfast, Musty Hobbit. What video of mine is my favorite or least favorite? Mine, he means. I hope he wouldn't want me to shit on his videos, right? I don't know. Once again, I'm sorry, cop out. I don't have a lot of... If something is my favorite, it's like Appetite for Destruction. Like the greatest album ever. If it doesn't super stand out, I don't know. I love doing these What's Happening YouTube videos because it's just like, it's what's happening. Just sitting in my game room, having a cocktail. That's what's happening. What's happening, YouTube? That's what. The least favorite? I don't know, the first thing that popped to mind is I got that Hyperkin Atari, and I did a review of it, and I just didn't really like the system, so I didn't really like doing the video. But I got it like launch day, and I wanted to make a video of it. It's not terrible. I mean, it plays Atari games in HD, but had I not thought people would want to know how it worked, I wouldn't have done a video of it, because the thing doesn't work very great. Doesn't play all the games that I tried. I think there was like no audio and whatever. So that's my answer. If you want to play Atari, you want to play it in HD. It's the only way I know of. Corpse Flood Gaming. Jason, if I could have any 5 games for my collection, what would I choose? Well, I would pick the gold NWC cart because I want to have a complete Nintendo collection, and that one is insane expensive. And Little Samson, which I'm going to get. I almost bought it 2 years now at the Midwest Gaming Challenge. I mean, it's kind of stupid to spend that much money on a game, but I don't know, I just want it. So those are the only 2 that stick out. I really, really wanted Panic Restaurant, and I got that one. I want Chrono Trigger. I want Final Fantasy 3. Those ones aren't crazy expensive. Here's a good one. I'm Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. It's one of the few games that I definitely had before. I don't know what the hell happened to. I think one day I was just like, I'm never going to play this piece of shit. Traded it in for games I was going to play, and I've said it before, I probably won't say it many more times, but I rarely ever trade games in. I mean, I want a complete NES collection, so I wouldn't get rid of any of those. But some games that, I mean, now like, I don't really give a shit about, Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis games. If I don't like them, I'm not trying to get a complete collection. So I get rid of those, but Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. That's actually right under the gold NWC card. Geeks by the Creek. Are there any YouTubers I've learned from? Absolutely. I mean, for one, I don't know. I don't know shit, so I'm not sure why you're asking me that. But yeah, I mean, every time, well, not every time, but a lot of times you watch a video and you're like, oh, that looks good. Oh, the way he did his lighting or his setup or his backdrop or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. I can't think of anything other than Bithead 1000. How he's just in his shed doing his thing. I mean, I don't think you're really learning much from that, but I don't want to say motivates me, but like, you know, what's happening YouTube is kind of like Bithead, my version of Bithead 1000. Just, I don't have a shed. I got the game room. I'm just hanging out, doing my thing in it. And he, two-parter, what system drew me in with the way its games felt, interfaced, and controlled? It's always going to be Nintendo. The NES. It's always going to be that. It was the innovator. It changed everything. It's always going to be that. Charlie's Main Channel. What are my favorite top 10 worst Japanese Famicom games I played? There's so many bad Famicom games. Even more bad than NES games, because there's more of them. But I can't think of the names, but some baseball ones, for sure. There was just some shit baseball ones. And some Mahjong. Why are there so many fucking Mahjong Famicom games, right? Like, even if it's huge in Japan, games suck. Can you hear Angry Baby crying? I can. The wife's taking care of him. So we can shoot. What's happening YouTube? She's like, I'm going all the way on the other side of the house so I don't have to hear you say, what's happening YouTube 50 times. What's happening YouTube? Okay. 323 Gonzalez. Do I own a TurboGrafx 16 or did I know it existed back in the day? I do not own one. I don't think I knew it existed, but I do have the TurboGrafx Mini. And I think it's pretty cool. I really liked Newtopia, even though it was kind of repetitive and it's not perfect. I liked it. I always wanted to play it. Super glad both those are on there. And Splatterhouse. Was there another one? Those were the main ones. Do you nerd? A holy grail item I've managed to get. Panic Restaurant. Already said it, for sure. A holy grail item I haven't got or least expectations of getting. Another one of my holy grails, Hillsfar on the NES. I got that one too. I really want the Mike Tyson's gold. No, it's not Mike Tyson. Is it? The Punch Out on the Famicom gold card. I really want that. But I least expect to get the gold NWC. Yeah, I want it, but I least expect to get that one. And I'm always positive, staying positive, but the chances are, yeah. 69 MMA fan. Name something I had back in the day that I got rid of or lost, and now it's so pricey I can't afford to get it back. I guess I would have to say Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom once again. I mean, it's not so pricey that I can't get it, but I have most of all my stuff from back in the day. Slappy McCallahan, favorite Saturday morning cartoon, and what kind of cereal was I eating? Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons. In a close second, Gummy Bears. Side note, I was out there doing it today. I've planted an orchard in my backyard with all kinds of different trees and berries because I want to make my own wine and call it gummy berry juice. That would be fucking awesome. Let's drink to that. Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s. If you weren't alive then, you got shafted. It was awesome. You'll never understand. Okay. Voids81. Favorite arcade game that I played back in the day. So, I've said this a few times. There's three arcade games that I was hunting for, and it kind of actually spurred my collecting of NES and nah. One of them, the first one to find, was Yi Ar Kung Fu, which Yi Ar Kung Fu, I mean, I didn't realize, like I said, despite being on YouTube, I only know what I know about video games by what I play. None of my friends play them, we don't talk about it. I mean, I got some video game friends because of YouTube, and occasionally we get together at conventions, but the hell is on the ground? But that hasn't happened in a while. So Yi Ar Kung Fu was the first one. Another one was, I used to play Yi Ar Kung Fu at the bowling alley Friday nights when my parents would take me there. Solar Warrior was a game that we had at the In-N-Out Mart down by my house. Took me forever to find what that is, and it's got another Japanese name, but when I picked up my Pandora 5S, that was on there, and it was the first and only game I've beat on that so far. The third game, which I thought was Ghost House, I still cannot find. We're not even going to get into that. That's all. M. Mooney, where did you get the sweet Pac-Man blazer? Well, actually, I just ordered it online. It came from Europe, so it's got a European size, but it wasn't all that expensive. It was maybe $200 for the whole suit. It's got the tie, which I don't wear because of a fat neck. But you know, you see the blazer, you don't always see the pants. But thank you for asking and saying it's sweet, because I do think it's sweet, and I love wearing it. I wore it to my high school 20th reunion, and I had a blast in it. Maybe I drank a little too much, I don't know. NES, Some Simpson. What is the meaning of life? Which is better, Goonies or Back to the Future? Back to the Future. I mean, Goonies is great, but Back to the Future. Rick Thomas, my favorite console, NES. It's always going to be the NES. That'll never change. You know, there's obviously superior games on other consoles, but my favorite will always be the NES. Captain Algebra. Well. What's my earliest gaming memory? Playing Atari, and it was either Pac-Man or Demon Attack with my grandma. Well, her playing it and then letting me play, but I know she really liked Pac-Man a lot, and I liked Demon Attack more. I mean, Pac-Man on the Atari kind of sucks. Demon Attack's pretty sweet. I mean, she definitely played them both, but can't remember which one I remember seeing her play first, but one of those. That's definitely my earliest gaming memory. Final question, Kane Deathbreaker. What are my top favorite arcade cabinets of all time? Rastan. Rastan 1,000 times over. It's always going to be Rastan. Killer arcade game. Can't beat it. It was a multi-cade, had like 30 or 40 games. I bought it because Rastan was in it, and I could never beat it. When you get to the last stage, it doesn't allow continues. That's a tough-ass game. So, Rastan. I want to get a Rastan cabinet, but it seems like such a waste because, you know, arcade cabinets are coming leaps and bounds. They're putting the Raspberry Pi in them, has every game in the world. So it's like buying a Rastan cabinet itself kind of be stupid. But then again, I don't always make the smartest financial decisions. So who knows if one will end up in the game room one day or not. All right, well, we had a bunch of other stuff here to talk about, but this already rolled into 20-some minutes, so we're going to cut it there. So I guess this was just a What's Happening YouTube Q&A. I want to thank everybody for throwing those questions in, and that was great. I want to do another Q&A. In the comment section below, let's get another let's get another list of questions going on. Throw them in there, and I'll compile the list, and in 3 years, we'll shoot that video again. Seriously, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, YouTube, keep it retro!